The summer sun cast a golden glow over the dusty plains of Texas as spectators gathered at the country's most exclusive shooting range, a private arena reserved for the elite, the powerful, and the obscenely wealthy. It was the final day of the annual Titans Invitational, a charity shooting competition attended by billionaires, celebrities, and military veterans, all competing for prestige and the pride of besting the best. No one noticed the small, plainly dressed woman who stood near the back, holding a weathered duffel bag and squinting against the glare. Her name was Rosa Lane. To most, she looked out of place, mid-50s, in a faded flannel shirt and jeans that had clearly seen more than a few seasons. Her hands bore the calluses of decades of labor, and her eyes held the quiet sadness of someone who had lost more than she'd ever gained. Rosa was a cleaner at the nearby elementary school, a widow, and the guardian of 2 grandchildren since her daughter's overdose 5 years ago. She had no business standing among titans of industry. "Is she lost?" one woman whispered to her husband, suppressing a laugh. "Must be someone's maid," a man muttered as he turned away. Rosa ignored the stares. She wasn't here for their approval. She was here because a kind-hearted range officer had seen her practicing weeks ago and, impressed by her precision, pulled some strings to get her a wild card entry. A miracle in its own right. She remembered her late husband, Daniel, teaching her to shoot cans off fence posts in the backwoods of Alabama. It was their thing, a private joy that became her therapy after he passed away. She hadn't held a rifle in public since. The announcer's voice blared over the speakers. "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our final wildcard contestant, Ms. Rosa Lane." Polite applause rippled through the crowd. Cameras zoomed in, not out of excitement, but out of novelty. Billionaire Jeff Crowley smirked as he leaned into the microphone. "Let's see if kindness gets her 10 out of 10. Laughter echoed. Rosa said nothing. She approached the firing line, unzipped her duffel, and pulled out an old Winchester Model 70, well-maintained but clearly aged. The contrast was stark against the glistening, high-tech firearms of her competitors. She loaded the rifle with a practiced ease, then took her stance. The crowd went silent. First shot, bullseye. Second, bullseye. By the 5th, the murmurs began. By the 8th, jaws dropped. 10 shots. 10 bullseyes. Silence fell. Even the billionaires, with their laser-guided scopes and digital displays, hadn't matched her. Jeff Crowley stepped forward, his bravado evaporated. "Where'd you learn to shoot like that?" Rosa smiled faintly. "My husband was a good teacher." The judges confirmed it. Rosa Lane had won. The $250,000 prize was hers. But Rosa didn't cry or cheer. She stepped up to the microphone, gripping it with both hands. "I came here to honor someone I loved and to maybe win enough to fix my truck and put a new roof on our home," she began, her voice shaking. "But I've seen the faces of children who come to school hungry, who wear the same shoes every day until they fall apart. My grandbabies deserve a better world. They all do." She looked over at the billionaires. "I'm donating $200,000 to the school district, to fund breakfast programs, books, and after-school care. And I challenge each of you here to match it." Gasps rippled through the crowd. Cameras caught it all. One by one, hands went up. Jeff Crowley nodded slowly, visibly moved. "I'll match her donation." Others followed. In 10 minutes, the school district had over $3 million pledged. The children Rosa fought for wouldn't just eat, they'd thrive. Later, as the sun dipped low and shadows stretched long, Rosa sat quietly beside the range, rifle by her side. A reporter approached her, hesitant. "Why give it all away?" Rosa looked at the horizon, eyes soft. "Because I've learned something the hard way. Kindness might not fill your bank account, but it fills the world with hope. And hope is what keeps people going when everything else falls apart." Her story spread like wildfire, news outlets, social media, late-night shows. Not for the shock of her win, but for the heart behind her choices. Letters poured in. Donations skyrocketed. Schools across the state began launching Rosa funds in her honor. And in the quiet corners of America, ordinary people felt a little braver, a little more seen. Because one simple woman stood tall, not with wealth or power, but with compassion, grit, and an unshakable belief that even a single shot, fired with love, can echo far beyond the range. That day, Rosa Lane didn't just hit 10 bullseyes. She hit the heart of a nation.